Hello, and welcome to Assignment 2 PBL Scenario for Online Learning, Theory and Research, AEDT 2160, entitled Post-Pandemic K-12 Education Plan. The scenario: from March 14th, 2020 to May 15th, 2021, schooling and education in Ontario was profoundly disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. For 20 weeks, Ontario schools were closed, which was longer than any other Canadian province and territory. The experiences of schooling was differentiated due to the emergency remote learning for all K-12 students and diverse learning models. For the 2021-2022 school year, still in pandemic, caregivers in Ontario have been given options to have children back to in-person learning, fully online learning, or a hybrid model of the two. The question that our group has been reflecting on during our research is, in Ontario, should fully online learning be offered or continued in all K-12 education following the COVID-19 pandemic?
Rationale for the use of information and communication technologies in teaching and learning. Number 1. Enhancing the quality of teaching and learning. In face-to-face learning, only one person can talk at a time. Online, many people can talk and share their ideas. It creates a healthy, knowledgeable community that plays a pivotal role to extend the learning of students. Bates and Sangram, 2011. Number 2. To develop the skills and competencies needed in the 21st century. Educator can use a variety of tools to connect with their students. It is not only innovative with technology but also with the teaching practices. Bates and Sangram, 2011. Number 3. Accessibility. Technology in teaching and learning increase access to learning opportunities to increase flexibility of students. Bates and Sangram, 2011. Number 4. Adjust the learning pattern of millennials. Although nowadays K-12 students are not millennial, but due to COVID, when kindergarten students start school online, they need support from their parents. Those are typically millennial, and it was accessible to them to support their young children in their learning. Bates and Sangram, 2011. Number 5. Role of educator. Educator plays a fundamental part in boosting students' engagement in instruction influenced by the COVID-19 widespread. The educator within the virtual classroom as a facilitator or mediator empower and reinforces inspiration to participate in discourses, break the mental boundary, and clear the way for making a computer-mediated learning environment less intimidating and more regular portion of scheduled life. Videos Positive, 2013. Reasons of online learning and its approach. It provides support for each child's own pace, focusing on numeracy and literacy. Inclusive for special education and individual education plan students too. Build autonomy, develop critical competency skills, digital literacy, enhance time management skills, independent learning opportunities, access to learning through asynchronous activities. PDSB 2021. According to the reports of State of Nation 2021 given data of Ontario indicate in 2019 42% was virtual learning enrollment of students from K to 12. It provides evidence that distance learning ratio is increasing.
Predominant theories that inform K-12 education approach to online learning. Social constructivism theory. This theory indicates that learners construct new knowledge on the foundation of their existing knowledge. According to Piaget's theory of social constructivism, learners get knowledge through communication, collaboration, and interaction with others. As in online learning, learning occurs when students collaborate, when they discuss and interact with their teacher and peers using a learning management system. Vygotsky's theory of zone of proximal development indicates that children learn best when they have guidance or assistance from adults. As in online learning, learners interact with their peers and facilitators and solve the problem collaboratively, and the facilitator supports learner to achieve their goal. Vygotsky believed that when a student is in the zone of proximal development for a particular task, providing the appropriate assistance will give the student enough of a boost to achieve the task. Self-determination theory. According to Ryan and Daisy, self-determination theory is a popular theory of human motivation and posits that all individuals possess fundamental psychological needs for autonomy, relatedness, and competence that move them to act or not to act. In a classroom setting, an educator can help students foster a sense of self-determination by providing unexpected positive feedback when a student performs well can help improve competence, and avoiding excessive external reward for action students already enjoy can help improve internal motivation.
Commonalities and differences, in-person learning versus online learning. Human interaction. There isn't physical interaction with online learning. In-class learning has physical interaction between the teacher and the students. Online learning is a virtual environment that has human interaction, but it's online via Zoom, Canvas, and Google Docs. You can work while you study. Online learning allows students to be able to attend classes virtually while still being able to work. With in-class learning, students often have to leave their jobs or are only able to have summer jobs in order to complete their courses. 24/7 access to learning materials. Online courses allow students to have access to course materials all the time, such as modules, assignments, and recorded sessions. In-class learning, students have to be there physically to speak with the teachers face-to-face during specific hours. Agility. With online learning, the materials can be accessed from all over the world, nevertheless the location of the student or the time zones. In-class learning, you have to be physically there at the time in order to have access to the material being taught.
Reviews. Pros and cons for online learning for K-12 education. Some pros include flexibility and asynchronous learning options. Students can complete work outside of school hours and on their own time. Bullying can be more easily monitored and decreased. Students can take more frequent breaks. There's no classroom environment distractions. There's less anxiety about making mistakes. There's more learning opportunities and courses available. There's different methods of communications offered. Assignments can be modified for hands-on at home, and there are more student supports in an online environment. Kids learn best in person. A quote from Karen Brown, Vice President with the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, when addressing that online learning was never meant to be a permanent solution. It was only a temporary response to the pandemic. Some cons are that adult supervision may be required and students with exceptionalities may need physical assistance. If students lack self-efficiency to complete the work, they will need more assistance. Too much screen time and blue light effects on the users. Social interactions and outlines are important for development, and this may cause mental health issues or feelings of isolation. Sense of community is needed and may hinder when no face-to-face interactions happen. Limited hands-on and interactive learning. Access to technology or internet may be restricted. Staying in one setting, like the home, may be challenging, and cyberbullying could be an issue. There may be issues finding quiet workspaces for students in their homes, and there may be students that live in abusive households and no longer have a safe space like school.
Conclusion. Our group's opinion. Not enough research or evaluation has been conducted to determine if online learning meets all the needs for all K-12 students in Ontario. Not all students benefit from online learning. It is essential to teach students with advancing technology use and tools to meet the 21st century teaching and society. Online courses should be taught and implemented with an appropriate approach to prepare students for post-secondary. As of 2019, 2 fully online courses are required for Ontario high school students to graduate. The COVID-19 pandemic has been challenging for all, and school closures were necessary to ensure public health and wellness, but that does not mean that K-12 education should switch to fully online practices. Continue to have a hybrid model as an option for students and caregivers who do not want to return to in-person learning post-pandemic. Online learning is a developing and accepted education model in Canada. However, we believe it should not entirely replace in-person K-12 education, unless necessary.